For centuries, the word Viking has conjured images of ruthless warriors, their axes gleaming as they descend upon helpless villages. But is that truly all they were? History is really so simple. The Norsemen who set sail from Scandinavia were not only raiders but also traders, explorers, and settlers. Their longships cut through the seas not just in pursuit of plunder, but of opportunity, forging connections that spanned continents. Were they pirates, or pioneers? Pillagers, or merchants? The truth lies somewhere in between, a story of blood and barter, steel and silver. To understand the Vikings, we must look beyond the raids and into the heart of their voyages. Chapter 1: The Howl of the North Wind. The salty wind howls through the sails, the crash of waves against wooden hulls echoes across the North Sea. In the dim light of dawn, a fleet of longships emerges from the mist, their dragon-headed prows slicing through the water like silent predators. Are they here to trade, or to plunder? The world remembers the Vikings as brutal raiders, warriors whose fury fell upon unsuspecting villages with the force of a tempest. But is that the full story? Or have we overlooked another side of these seafaring adventurers, a side that tells of negotiation, commerce, and cultural exchange? Chapter 2: The Wrath of Lindisfarne. In the year 793, the world learned to fear the Viking name. It began with the infamous raid on Lindisfarne, a small island off the coast of England. The monks of the monastery never saw it coming. One moment, they were tending to their sacred texts, the next, the doors were splintered, and chaos reigned. Blood stained the stone floors, gold and silver were torn from the altars, and survivors fled in terror. News of the attack spread like wildfire. Who were these men with axes and shields, their faces painted with battle rage? For centuries, this image persisted, Vikings as ruthless marauders, gods of war descending from the north. But here's something that might surprise you. Many Viking voyages weren't about destruction at all. They were about opportunity. Chapter 3: Merchants of the North. Consider Hedeby, one of the largest Viking trading centers. Located in present-day Germany, this bustling hub connected Scandinavia with the rest of Europe. Spices from the east, fine silks from Byzantium, and even Arabian silver coins flowed through its markets. Vikings weren't just takers, they were shrewd businessmen, forging deals with merchants from lands they would never conquer. In fact, Norse traders reached as far as Baghdad, where they were known as the Rus, bringing furs, amber, and even slaves in exchange for exotic goods. Then there's the story of Bjorn Ironside, the son of the legendary Ragnar Lothbrok. While his father's legacy was built on conquest, Bjorn sought fortune beyond the battlefield. He led an expedition into the Mediterranean, striking deals with traders in North Africa and even reaching the gates of Rome. Was he a warrior? Undoubtedly. But he was also a navigator, a strategist, and, dare we say it, a businessman. Chapter 4: Eastward Bound, the Viking Silk Road. And what about the Vikings in the east? The Varangians, Norsemen who ventured into the rivers of modern-day Russia, founded trading routes that linked Scandinavia to Constantinople and beyond. Their longships, built to navigate both the open sea and narrow rivers, carried goods across vast distances. By the 10th century, Viking mercenaries were serving as elite guards for the Byzantine emperor himself. Not exactly the work of mindless barbarians. Even the Viking settlements tell a different story. Take Dublin, for instance, a city founded by Viking traders. Here, Norse settlers established markets, minted coins, and helped shape the economic landscape of Ireland. In Greenland, Vikings farmed and built communities. In Newfoundland, evidence suggests they interacted, peacefully or otherwise, with indigenous peoples. These were not the actions of mere raiders, but of explorers seeking new horizons. Chapter 5: The Balance of the Blade. And yet, the sword was never far from the hand. When negotiations failed, when enemies stood in their way, the Vikings could be ruthless. But can we blame them for that? In an age where survival depended on strength, the line between trader and warrior was razor thin. The same longships that carried cargo also carried warriors. The same hands that sealed deals could wield axes when necessary. Perhaps the true Viking legacy lies not in conquest or commerce alone, but in their ability to be both. They were pirates and pioneers, raiders and merchants, warriors and settlers. They shaped the world not just through fire and blood, but through the ties they forged across continents. So, were the Vikings raiders or traders? The answer is simple. They were both.